Hey guys, I just hit myself in the nose. Let's try that again. Hey guys, welcome back to the My First Time tag. We are on question 17, so we're over halfway done. Cool. My first broken bone. Uh, well, I was a very mean child. I had a lot of anger issues and I was pretty aggressive. I liked to fight. I had no issue fighting with somebody, and I would stand my ground. And I actually got into a fight with somebody in the middle of my classroom while class was going. We had a very stupid supply teacher who just kind of let us argue, and the argument went from being just kind of like debating at each other to screaming at each other to actually fighting with each other. And I actually badly broke my wrist. But it wasn't from the actual combat itself. I got thrown into a desk, like a teacher's desk, and it was on wheels, and I went to grab onto it, and of course it moved, and I fell, and I tried to, break my fall with my hand, and yeah. But I have had quite a few other broken bones since then. I've broken a few of my toes, I've broken both my pinkies, and all that kind of fun stuff. But my wrist was the first one, and it was so unbelievably painful. I think that's probably one of the worst pains I've ever been in my whole entire life. It was so bad. And I have a pretty high tolerance for pain now, that's probably why, but yeah, it was bad. Very painful. My first piercing. I got my ears done, not as like the typical age where you get them done when you're really super young. I was afraid of needles and I was just like so freaked out. So I ended up getting them done when I was like 11 or something like that. Like it was quite older compared to the typical age that most people get them done. But my first like actual piercing was my tongue piercing, and I got that done when I was 14. I've always liked the tongue piercing. I thought it looked so cool. Actually, the first time I really seen it was with the singer Pink. She had it done back in the day, and when I seen it, I was like, oh my god, that is cool. And so for years and years and years, I was like, Dad, I want that. Dad, I want that so bad. Like, that's what I want. And everybody used to like kind of be like, you can't get your ears pierced, but you can pierce your tongue. And I'm like, oh, I want it. And so yeah, that was my first one. And I love my tongue ring. It's probably my favorite piercing out of all the piercings that I have. It's definitely the one that I love the most. And I never had any issue with it. I took care of it well. And years later, it's still there. So, but yeah. Move on to the next question. What was the first foreign country you visited? Would be the Dominican Republic. I went to Punta Cana in 2006. And I went with some family. And it was beautiful. I actually was so excited because I always want to put my feet in the ocean, and boy, oh, did I learn that the ocean ain't for everybody. Went over, and I was so excited because like we went to a resort, and like literally from our balcony, like you could see the ocean. Like the ocean was like so close. So I kept telling my auntie, I'm like, oh, I want to go put my feet in it. I want to go put my feet in it. Like I just want to touch it and be a part of it. And so I like walked over and put my feet in, and a wave hit me, and I was past my chest, and I swear to God, I walked on water and was so fast out of there. I hated it. To this day, I've been all over the Caribbean and what have you. I don't swim in the ocean. I don't like it. It scares me when I go in there. I know this is so silly, but all I can think of is done it. And just like, I can't do it. And so, but I think a lot of it has to do with like when I go into water, I go in very slowly. I don't just like dive right in. I've never done that. It's kind of a little bit overwhelming, so I like to just kind of take it slow. So when I got hit by a wave and just kind of got like sucked in, it was absolutely terrifying. I've never had something like that happen, and I'm already very intimidated by the ocean, so I was kind of like, oh my god, get me out of here. And we went snorkeling too, and it was so beautiful, and I was fine until a school of fish went by me, and then I was out of there. I couldn't do it. So yeah, I'm a chicken. First one to admit it. I don't like the ocean. It's so beautiful though. Like I think it is, and there's so many amazing creatures in there, but it's just not for me, and it's way too salty and icky, and yeah, not for me. But it is really pretty. So yes, the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana was the first place I went. First foreign country I visited. Next question. First movie I remember seeing. I don't know the first one I remember seeing. I remember a couple. I was really big into Lion King when it came out. The Jaws movies, which is probably where that Ocean Fear stems from. Thanks, Mom. No, I'm just kidding. I like the Jaws movies. I think sharks are beautiful creatures. I just have to throw that out there. No, I like them. But yeah, it was probably like Lion King or like Power Rangers or something along that line. Mellow. I don't know if you guys, if the camera will pick that up, but he's howling. He's talking to himself. Hi, bud. Marshmerlin. You gonna visit me? I see you. Okay, we'll move on, because obviously you guys don't want to sit here and watch me, like, call my cat his 1,000 nicknames that he has. And yes, I did call him Marshmerlin. One of his nicknames is Marshmallow, because his name is Mellow. And the one day we were just joking around, and I was like, if he wasn't a Mellow, talking to my roommate, if he wasn't a Mellow, what would you think his name would be? And she said, at first it was Mowgli, or Merlin. And I'm like, the wizard kitty, that sounds about right. So one day I just randomly was just like, Marshmerlin, and it just kind of stuck. So that cat's got more nicknames than you could possibly imagine. So anyway, we're going to move on, because I keep getting sidetracked. So, yes, it was the first movie I remember seeing, probably Lion King, Jaws, Power Rangers, something along that lines. Maybe even a Chipmunks movie. There was one I was obsessed with when I was a kid. Or Toy Story, Fox and the Hound. Something along that lines. My first detention in school, in public school. Ooh. I got detentions a lot. I'm just trying to think for what my first one would have been. Might have been in grade 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in grade 3 when I went back to the public school that I originally went to, because I'd moved and then came back. There was this girl in the class, and me and her did not get along. We still don't get along to this day. She's just an idiot. But anyway, our first interaction was, I don't like you, and it just kind of turned into a kerfuffle and detention. I basically had my own room in the detention room, because I was in there quite a bit, not gonna lie. I was, like I said, I was a very angry child. I had a lot of rage-a-haul. But yeah. So we only got a couple more questions left, so we'll skim through them quickly. Next question is, who was your first roommate? My first roommate is now an ex-friend. She moved in with me and my dad and them a couple of years ago. She lived with us for quite a while, I think over a year. And yeah, it was pretty cool. We had a lot of fun together. It was amazing, because where I was living was like a 2-street town. Like, it was so small and so unbelievably boring, but with her living with me, we had like so much fun. We made every day a fun situation. So definitely made living in that small town a hell of a lot better. But yeah. And then next question is the first sport that I played. I was never really on sports teams per se, but me and my dad and my brother, we used to go play basketball after school. We would just like go to the school grounds and use like the basketball nets, and I enjoyed playing soccer and tennis and things like that. But I wasn't like a huge like avid like volleyball player or anything like that. Like, I wasn't really interested in sports teams and things like that. Like, I like playing it for fun, not so much as a competition. So, but yeah, basketball would probably be one of my favorites to kind of just play for fun. And only 2 left. My voice just went all funny. Next question is, what's the first thing you do when you come home? That's kind of a tricky question to answer, because it varies. Sometimes if I've been away for a long period of time, like I've been in the car all day, the first thing I do when I come home is rush to the bathroom. I drink coffee and, well, yeah. But other times, sometimes when I first come home, I'll go and check the mail if I hadn't been home in the morning to do so. I'll check on the kids, like my spiders, let the dogs out. It just varies. Sometimes if it's really hot, I rush in, I grab a drink of water or something. So it kind of varies on a daily basis. So it's hard to say. And the last question is my first kiss. My first kiss, my first actual kiss, I guess, you know, like, I'm not including like a peck on the cheek or something, was with my first boyfriend, and I was very nervous. and we were outside in the freezing cold, and it was just this kind of really awkward thing that I wasn't even 100% comfortable with doing, but at the same time I kind of wanted to, but I was being pressured in a sense, not by him, but by somebody who was with us, you know, like, just kiss him, it'll be cute, da, da, da. And it's just like, I don't know, I'm scared. But yeah, I was really nervous, and it wasn't a very good kiss, to be honest with you. He wasn't a good kisser. But yeah, it was, I think everybody's first kiss is kind of like awkward and kind of embarrassing. I think that's kind of like the point of the first kiss, even though typically people have like 27 or something first kisses in their lives. But yeah, it was awkward and uncomfortable, but I was young. I was only like 14, and I know that there are tons of people like that seems old compared to what like things are like now, but I was never the type of person that was really like active that way. Like, actually, when I first started dating him, I more was dating him just to kind of have like a close friend. That may sound kind of weird, but like I wasn't interested in so much the aspect of like being like sexually active or anything like that. Like, I just kind of wanted like a best friend and more, and it didn't really work out to be like that. He wanted more than I did, so it was done. But that's not part of the question, but I feel like I had to share that with you guys. But yeah, that was a long time ago, and I don't talk to him anymore, FYI, just to put it there. And he was not my first love. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this really random video. I'm sorry that I was kind of like all over the place a little bit. I tend to do that quite a bit, so I hope that you guys still enjoy the video, and we will talk to you guys really, really soon. And I've got some other videos coming up. I still have to do a feeding video. I have to make a guinea pig video because I had kind of a guinea pig switch around thing that happened yesterday. So I'll have to get that up and do a feeding video for you guys soon, and we will talk to you guys later.